50 amazing vintage photos showing how risque ladies in the early 20th century really looked like. The role of women had changed drastically by the end of the 19th century. They were no longer just housewives or a mere shadow behind men's backs. Thousands of women all over the world found freedom and empowerment in liberation from the chains that society had placed on them. A lot of these women expressed their newfound freedom through their bodies. We have compiled a list of 50 amazing vintage photos from the early 20th century that show just how risque women were back then. A lot of these images were taken during the golden age of Hollywood, which lasted from 1915 to 1963. Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe and leave a comment saying you've subscribed. Here are 50 images that show what women were like in the early 20th century. Deslis. This photo of the French singer and actress Gaby Deslis was taken in the 1900s. Deslis died from complications caused by the Spanish influenza in 1920. Ricky Robb. This photo was possibly taken in the 1930s by an Austrian photographer, Franz Xavier Setzer. British stage beauty. A postcard of Lil Hawthorne, a music hall performer that was made in 1905. La Belle Otero. Carolina Otero was a Spanish actress who was well known for having multiple lovers. Portrait. Taken by an unknown photographer, pictured here is Lena Calvareri, an actress and a monologist. She died in a bombing raid in 1944. The Flowered Hat Woman. A young English woman in a low-cut dress. The picture was taken sometime in 1900. Mary Eaton. An American actress and a dancer who was famous in the 1910s and 1920s. Norma Talminage. Another famous American actress who acted in a lot of silent films. This picture was taken in 1922. Wives of Men. A portrait of Grace Davison, an American actress. Not much is known about her other than that she produced a movie called Wives of Men. Silent Film Era. A portrait of Phyllis Haver taken in 1923. Haver was an American actress who was popular during the silent film era. Dancer from the 1920s. Taken in 1924, the name of the woman in the picture is unknown. She was a dancer in the 1920s. Goddess of the silent screen. This is a photo of Dolores Costello, taken in 1922. Costello was a well-known actress in the silent film industry. Stars and Beauty. Taken in 1925 by Charles Auguste Varsva, the woman in this photo was probably a French actress. The Wholesome Woman. This is a portrait of Bessie Love, taken in 1929. Love was an American actress who was known for playing innocent characters in silent films. Roll the Dice. The title of this photo is A Winning Miss. It was taken in 1911. The Dancer. Portrait of a Swedish dancer, Jeanette de Fagetta, taken in the 1910s, is an unknown performance. Opera. Portrait of a Swedish operatic soprano, Magna Liska, taken in the 1910s, probably in the same performance as the previous photo. Greta Stranden, another Swedish performer. This photo was taken at Kungliga Operan in 1913. Hoopla. Clara Bow was an American actress who was famous in the 1920s. She starred in the movie Hoopla in an attempt to revive her acting career, which had almost come to an end in the 1930s, but the movie failed to garner the success she hoped it would. From Stocks to Cinema. Taken in 1918 for the film fan magazine Photoplay, the photo shows Dorothy Dalton, a famous American actress who first worked in a stock company and then later found movie roles in Hollywood. Marion Martin. Martin was an American actress who started working in films after her family went broke because of the Wall Street crash of 1929. The Druggist's Daughter from Texas. Another picture that was taken for the Photoplay magazine. The woman in this photograph is Florine Mckinney, an American actress who hailed from Texas. Promo shoot. This photo of the American actress and pinup girl Betty Grable was taken in 1943 for promotional purposes. Gellert Bass. Taken in 1943, this photo with an unknown girl in it was meant to show the ladies' baths that were damaged during World War II. Swimwear fashion in the 1940s. This photo of an unknown model was taken in 1943 by an Australian photographer, Jervis Purcell. This photo belongs to the Australian National Maritime Museum's Jervis Purcell collection. Ann Miller. This pinup of the American actress of Ann Miller was produced in 1945. Italy. Taken sometime in the late 1930s, the photo shows 3 young women, possibly locals, from Naples. Type of beauty. A postcard photo of Marie-Louise Derville, a French actress that was made in the early 1900s. Magazine Pinup. Another pinup that was made in 1945 for a military magazine called Yank, the Army Weekly. The woman in the pinup is an American actress, Andrea King. The Banker's Daughter. Photographed here is Christel Madrin, an Austrian actress and singer. This photo was taken in 1925, 5 years after she made her acting debut. Corset. A 1931 photograph of an unknown woman dressed in a tight corset. The Shoulders. This photo was probably taken in the early 1900s. The exact date is unknown. Who the woman in the picture is also unclear. The Giggling Actress. Taken sometime around 1915, the photo shows Jane Rednerot, who is a French silent film actress. She starred in movies from 1911 to 1919. America's Most Beautiful Dancer. This burlesque dancer was well known in America in the 1930s. She died in 1956 after she jumped out of a hotel window in Chicago. Polish Beauty. This picture of an unknown Polish woman, who is probably a dancer, was taken in the 1920s. The Unknown Dancer. The details of this photo and the woman in it are unclear, but it was probably taken in the early 1900s, and the woman was most likely a dancer. Am I Beautiful? Other than the title of the photo and the fact that it was taken in the 1910s, there is absolutely nothing known about it. Chorus Girl. This woman was part of Florence Ziegfeld's theatrical Broadway revue, called Ziegfeld's Follies. The girls who took part in the theatrical entertainment were called Ziegfeld's Girls. Mask of Thala. This photo of Lenore Filia, Argentinian surrealist painter, hiding behind Thala, the muse of comedy, was taken in 1934. The American Icon. Ginger Rogers was one of the most popular actresses in America during the golden age of Hollywood. Woman with dark hair. Lana Turner was an American actress who was also a pinup model. She died of throat cancer in 1995. This photo of her was taken in the 1940s, when she was considered to be one of the highest-paying actors in Hollywood. The Gaze. The only thing known about this photo is that it was taken in the 1920s. There were a lot of actresses in the 1920s who did photo shoots for magazines. The woman in this photo was probably one of them. Dancing with the Stars. The name of the dancer is unknown. She was active in the 1920s, which is around the same time this photo was taken. Pinup Girl. Pictured here is another burlesque dancer from the 1920s. The name of the dancer is not known. Lana Turner. Here's another photo of the woman with the dark hair. Turner was just as well known for being a pinup model as she was for being a film actress. Dancer with the Top Hat. A burlesque dancer who was popular in the 1940s. Screwball Comedy. Carole Lombard was another famous Hollywood actress who is known for her screwball comedy movies. She died in a plane crash in 1942. The Queen of Montparnasse. Alice Prin was a French painter who played a massive role in helping Paris's culture to become more liberal. She died in 1953. Lucy Fabre. A popular Puerto Rican singer from the 1940s, Fabre was well known for making music in the style of bolero, a genre of Latin music. The Blonde Bombshell. Jean Harley was a famous American actress who was known for being a femme fatale in her movies. Let us know in the comments which photo you like the most. Make sure you share this video with your friends so they can learn how risque women were in the early 20th century.